Thursday, 9 a.m., and this is People Power with Priscilla. We are the people, and we have the power. And I want to thank everybody for listening. I have a very special guest today. Well, I have two, Daniel, but Daniel's my friend. So Daniel's one of my staff with the Marcus Anthony Educational Institute, and very smart young black man. Knows what he wants to do, knows where he wants to go. And I also, for my guest, my sister, my big sister, Sarah Flint. I know a lot of you all know her. And we're going to talk about the elections and voting and her event that she's having next Thursday in reference to her son's scholarship. So, without further ado, we're going to introduce Sarah. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine. How are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
Good morning, everybody.
So, we decided because it's so close to election, and Sarah and I and my brother Kenny, have always been advocates for voting and always been involved in elections, whether they be nonpartisan or partisan. So we wanted to talk about this election coming up on September 1st, because a lot of people don't even realize that we have an election on September 1st. And Sarah has, I have heard people say that she's the first voter registration advocate they've seen in a long time. So Sarah, she gets out there and she does her thing. And so let's start. There may be some we got some different stuff going on today. But you may see some folks in and out of the screen, but we good. And let me just say hi, good morning to Daniel. How you doing, Daniel?
I'm doing good.
You look good. Got your hair all cut off. You ready to go back to school, huh?
Yeah, I just had to do a restart,
It looks nice. So, all right. So Sarah, so Daniel, you are registered to vote, correct? All right. So when will you be 18?
November.
Oh, okay. Well, November what?
26.
Oh, you missed it. Yeah. Yeah. He, there's a law in Boston, in Massachusetts. If you're 16 or 17, you can register to vote, but you won't be able to vote till you're 18. But at least you'll be already registered. So this year, we're really trying to do get some people out, not only registered to vote, but get them to the polls. And those that are registered, they need to come out. A lot of people were very, just don't want to vote. So, Sarah, tell us about how you get folks to because you do a lot of voter registration as well.
Usually I talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
And the last year or two, what I do is when there's an event where they have tables, I ask them, can I have a voter registration table?
Mm-hmm.
And as you said, that if they can register 16, 17, they can vote on the 18th birthday. Now, I've been registering kids to vote. Like, example, my children. When they turn 18, and my nieces, I registered them to vote. Right now, they're in their 40s, and they're still registered. I even looked, some of my grandkids are registered. But, the thing about it, I was the chair of the NAACP Civic Engagement Committee.
Okay.
And we would go out, have tables in the mall, and encourage people to vote. But one of the things that got me was a lot of individuals use the excuse, I'm not a citizen, right? And that
they probably weren't, but that's all right.
Okay. But and then what you do is, like you said, people go and they register people to vote, but do they actually vote?
Right.
What I feel we need to do, we register them, and then we do workshops with them. Because that's the only way they'll understand the seriousness of voting. Because they'll say, "Oh, I'm not going to vote this, that, and other." Well, I, some reason they won't, and then we'll say, "Well, do you get food stamps? You have Section 8. So it affects you." So it's about talking.
Right. I know when you mentioned that about when you register them and then you don't know if they vote. That's why I think same day registration is a good idea. I know
Yeah.
Mass Vote's been really pushing
Yeah.
for that you can register the same day that
Yeah.
on election day. We have early voting also,
Right.
which starts August 22nd,
Mm-hmm.
and that's also the last day to register to vote in the primaries. So you've been doing Sarah, you've been doing this for a long time. Like you've been
1982.
that's a long time. So, but you've done a lot of other stuff in the community. You're like a community activist like me. Well, I guess I probably got it from you because you older than me.
You and Brother King.
Yeah, she always likes to say, I'm the oldest.
Of 7.
But so we think that our vote don't count, and when we look at the presidential election, it's true. Our vote really don't count there because it's the electoral vote, which I ain't feeling that. I never felt that because I believe it was when Donald Trump ran against Hillary Clinton, I believe, where she got the popular vote, but because of the electoral vote, he was able to get in, and now he back again.
Right.
But we know that people die for us to vote, but people don't. Some people just don't care.
They don't.
But would you say, like, you ask them, do they get like SNAP benefits or food stamps or Section 8, or if they do like get services from like A, B, C, D?
Yeah.
A lot of these services and stuff were given because of our elected officials. Our elected officials are the ones that have to advocate for these laws and these bills and things. Just like we almost had an elected school committee. However, they did. Michelle Wu, our mayor, reneged on what she said she was going to do. And so not only she wanted a hybrid, but that didn't even happen. So we still have an appointed school committee. And out of 351 cities in Massachusetts, Boston, which is the capital, is the only city that doesn't have an elected school committee. And our schools are terrible. They really, really are. So what would you say to people who say, well, my vote don't count?
Well, what I would say is, you may not feel it counts. It's not the vote. It's like they need to see the power of us getting out the vote. You can go just be checked off as voting.
Yeah,
right?
Even if you don't like none
right,
of the candidates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I tell people, if you don't like them, just go and be checked because they look at those counts.
Yeah.
Right? And then I've heard even black elected officials say, well, I don't care. They don't vote for me anyway. I'm like, what? But I say to anyone, right? Even and you could write what you could
write your name in.
Yes, right. Just your name is registering the vote, or you can do just go in there. I may go in there and not vote for.
Yeah, I've been.
They can't tell who you vote for.
Exactly.
So I even work in polls, so you wouldn't believe how low
the turnout.
Because they keep count of all that.
Right.
And another thing they need to do, if somebody send you something saying call this candidate about something, they look at how many.
Yeah.
If there's 10 of you, they're gonna pay attention to that.
Right.
And then they'll say, well, what district do you live in? I told them it don't make no difference where I live. People need to realize our rights.
Right. That's where Ron Bell's little black book comes in. Yeah, we we have rights that we don't advocate, that we don't utilize. I don't have my little black book. I wish I did have it. But you have one, Sister Renee? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, but we have rights as citizens. There's a lot of things that go on to us, and we don't realize it. And if we don't realize it, we would just come together and in unity, and we can make a lot of changes in this city.
I've been thinking about it, right? Especially with this election. I am really disappointed
Mm-hmm.
with these candidates. It's totally disrespectful. You don't see no signs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just found out who the DAs are running last week. And I'm on top of stuff. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it's ridiculous. And one other thing is that I think of it because I've been working with nonprofits for years, right?
Mm-hmm.
All these organizations pop up,
Mm-hmm.
right? They don't work together.
Right.
And I was just thinking, like the ones like the senior citizens organizations,
Mm-hmm.
the youth organs. If we all come together
Mm-hmm.
and start having these big forums,
Forums, yeah.
they'll pay attention to us.
Right,
I
right.
was thinking that, like, see, I have a T-shirt for every organization I belong to, and I'll check and see which one. Oh, I got no.
Thank
Got
you.
one in my
Thank
bag.
Yeah. So, and I go, it depends. Like, even when President Obama was running, right? Remember, our brother got all this Obama stuff, and I was so much. He said they should pay me for advertising.
I know me and Robert went down to New York and
Oh, yeah, I know.
and bought all them Obama T-shirts. We were the first ones in Boston to
we
have
had
Obama
everything.
T-shirts. Yeah, because I remember it was a Juneteenth, and we was out there in our spot that we used to
Yeah.
have, and we were selling the Obama T-shirts. Yeah, so this is Ron Bell's The Black Book right here, and it's we talk about our civil rights, we talk about our voting rights, we talk about racial profiling, immigrant rights, and police brutality. And so it's with everything that's going on in our country today and over the world and all over the world. I mean, there are fires breaking out. I mean, there's all kinds of the weather. The Honorable Lewis Minister Farrakhan said, "Watch the weather," and this weather is crazy. I mean, it's like we are on fire because over in the West Coast, it's just horrible. It used to be just California. Now it's moving down to, I think, Spokane, Washington. I mean, it's just it's frightening. But we these are the sign of the times, and so by us, we have civil rights, but we don't use them, and that's why you don't see any signs because you don't really, if you don't know the people, you don't know, you don't know what you don't know. So this is election year. We have state reps, right?
Governor first.
Right. Well, yeah, we have the governor's race. I believe Andrea James did make the ballot, so she was able to get 10,000 votes. I mean, 10,000 signatures, and so it's her, my current governor Maura Healey, and some other person. I don't even know who. I don't even know who he is. But then we have our state reps, we have our state senators, we have the governor's council, which I really wish Stacey Borden had ran for that again. I think she probably would have got in. Because
you don't see no signs from none of them,
and you don't see nobody knocking no doors. It's
totally disrespect.
But you know what? I think what really changed for what I can see is COVID. Because everybody had to do everything online, and people, for lack of a better word, I think they just got lazy.
They did.
And just like, oh well, I'm not gonna knock no doors. I'm not gonna go out there, and so. But Sarah, you do a scholarship for your son Jimmy, who was killed in Orchard Park at the age of 15, and I know this is a touchy subject, so if you don't want to talk about it, we don't have
it's
to.
not
but
as touchy as it used to be.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if you wanted to talk about your event next week, because you've been doing this now. How long? 10 years now. You've been giving out the scholarship. Yeah. So
the advocacy, 45 years since my son's murder.
Yeah, Sarah has the scholarship fund that she gives to youth that are graduating from high school and going to college. She gives them money for books and supplies, and she's been doing it for a while. How many have you given, Sarah?
I counted. I don't know for sure, but 36 colleges and universities.
Wow.
Some of them have done, like, say, a lot of them Roxbury Community College, Bunker Hill. So there may be 3. And I've had one that just graduated. I've had 2 from Howard University. 3 counting our nephew, but he wasn't one of them. And we have a niece that's going to be in there that's going to Morgan State. I have one that plays for Phoenix Sun. So I'm trying to compile all that information so that I can, like, I don't want to just say, oh, this one, that one got. I want pictures. I want stories that, what are they doing now?
Right.
Because these kids, some of them maybe in their 30s now.
Yeah.
Like the kids I've worked with it started in Orchard Park when my son was murdered. Those kids in their 50s and 60s now.
Yeah.
Because Jimmy would have been 60 years old in June.
Wow.
And a lot of them are grandparents.
Wow.
So it's something that I felt like all my kids went to college. Jimmy's the only one because he was 15. So no telling what he may have done and had he lived. But can't dwell on that. I from that incident, that got me involved with youth because all I did was go to work, come home, leave me and my kids alone. We'll leave you alone. But that woke my eyes up that the youth are very important, even though I know my kids. But all of them, those kids brought my son home to me when he was, when he was stabbed. So from then I've been doing, and like the politic part, he directed me to that because I found out he was doing campaigning at 15. The only way I found out, I saw the literature in his room after he passed away. So I'm like, okay. And then he loved Jimmy Carter. He called him the peanut president.
I like Jimmy Carter too.
But I did afterwards. I'm like, who's the peanut president? So he always was interested because I tried to get them into history because that's one of my favorite things. So it's like it's our youth. Because they talk about, oh, we need this, we need that. The kids ain't gonna be here to enjoy it because they're being murdered at 9, 10, and getting back to that. That's what I'm looking at. I'm reaching out to every homicide family. Say, okay, get out check who's in your family that's 18. Start from there. I was talking about with our family doing like a little, what do you call it? A little contest. So you do things like that, it encourages the kids.
Right.
So, but like as far as the hopefully I'll give the scholarships out in October. I had September date, but I have to change that.
Oh, okay.
But and then like with the events, the event is on Thursday the 20th because that's the anniversary of his death, and I want to do something in memory of him where he was murdered, which is right on the corner of Eustis and Dearborn, down the street from the New Edition Street. So that's what I'm going to do. And from now until the 20th, I'm encouraging people to register to vote. On the 20th, I'm going to have a table there. Okay. Even if I don't have the event in the park. The park was just an idea for fundraising, but that's not the main goal. I'm going to have a table there from 4 to 11. For
11 to 4.
Oh, see, that may be why they came for me at 6 o'clock. But from 11 to 4, right, and have people to come in, and we're gonna put it on Facebook and so forth. And I'm gonna have talk to his friends, tell them to come out,
right.
And then all the ones I get from now until the 20th, from now until the 20th, I'm gonna take them down and hopefully batches to the city city
hall, the election department,
and where I live in my building,
right,
I'm gonna have a table with management. If they don't let me, they're gonna have a problem. I'm gonna have a table out in front of our building. There's 144 people in that building. I'm gonna try to get every one of them to vote. Then register, and then
you live in a senior building, aren't most of them registered?
No, we got new people to move.
Oh, okay.
Damn, I'm like, I say, well, how long you been here? Who are you? That's how I met Charles.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
no, and then like I mean we have it where we have the elected officials coming here. I just went down to City Hall and got Councilor Culpepper. He done came twice this week, right?
Yeah,
And
he
that,
was I was at a meeting with him yesterday.
yeah, he was
Mm-hmm.
at our building yesterday too.
Mm-hmm. I found out that the city council meets every other Wednesday during the summer. I didn't know that.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm. That's why before sometime I go down there and it wouldn't be no meeting because they meet every other Wednesday. But he said that he was gonna come do our walk with us on Tuesday. So I'm gonna call him and schedule with his scheduler to see have him come do this walk with us because it's really sad when you go down there in Nubian Square, you know. But we've been doing it for a while. But he said he's gonna do it. I mean, Pastor Culpepper, he's been
Consistent.
doing what he said he's gonna do, represent us, you know.
Yeah.
And so okay, so the event on next Thursday, you said it starts at 11 to 4, right?
Yeah.
Now, is it going to be in the park or no?
I don't think so because I have a problem with the permits and licenses. All of a sudden, that's the issue. So the Council Culpepper's chief of staff is working on that.
Okay.
And I got to get back once we finish here. I got to get back because I'm like, if I have to walk down to City Hall in the office, that's where I've gotten a lot of things, face to face.
Yeah, right,
and so I'm gonna find out because what I'm gonna do is like the Boys and Girls Club center's right next to where we used to live.
right.
Then they have the whole open space, but I couldn't have it there because the kids are still in camp.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna go and ask the director if I can have us out in the other end, that section, because they have some like benches and stuff like that. And also with this, I'm honoring seniors. I mean, the oldest member of Orchard Park Task Force, who's her name's Joan. Well, we call her Joan X Porter, but Joan Porter. And these people I'm honoring, they're the ones that taught me. And then that's the oldest task force chair.
Right.
And then the oldest member, then there's like maybe about 5 of them. So the city council is going to give them what they call them,
A resolution.
Resolution.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, I know. They're gonna give them that. Then I have some unsung hero awards I've been having for 2 years. I got to give them to them. And we're gonna do that, even if we have to do it on the sidewalk. Because that's what's gonna happen. Because it's a memorial for my son, even if I have to be there by myself.
Yeah. No, you're gonna be back. I'm getting my youth. That's gonna be one of the days that we're gonna come down there. And support you. Yeah. It's so weird how the city, they do what they want to do, and I don't know.
It's all about the money.
Yeah, but I mean the permits. It shouldn't. If they're not doing nothing and the park is open, I don't.
It's open.
Yeah, I
It's
don't see a real big issue. I mean
the steps you have to go, the loopholes. You got to get the permits first. You got to get the park. Then you got to go back and get permits and licenses for music, for food, health, all these. But see, all those funds go into the city's pocket. Then after all that, you got to go to the police station,
right, and get them.
Then you got to pay for police
detail. Yeah.
I'd rather pay security. Serious.
Yeah. Or ask the FOI.
Hey, I can talk to you, but I already mentioned that.
We got a call. Yep. This is People Power with Priscilla. So Daniel, what do you think about all this?
Going back to like the election, especially the one I witnessed. Was it Thursday?
The forum. Yeah.
That was something. That was something.
What did you think about it?
It was pretty messy. Like, everything was going on, but I liked it. It was like it was something new, a new experience that I experienced, and I really like learned like how like new thing like how debates work, times. I was confused about the times, and it was very like it was heated, and
Yeah.
I liked the heat, and it was
It was.
it was
Yeah.
nice, but yeah, and the Nubian the walk. It's very sad, especially the ones that I walked with, especially with you on Tuesdays. Seeing a lot of needles, a lot of calves, and you just see, people out there thirsty, hungry, and don't have extra clothes. And I'm just happy that we could help, like the best we could do, and I want eventually later on see what I could do and see if I could do better.
Yeah. It's it's sad what's going on in this world at this time, that our people are they're suffering. They really are, and we have to do the best that we can, because nobody's coming to save us. We got to save ourselves, and we have to really work together. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said we have to make our community a decent and safe place to live, and that's what we have to do. Because back in the day, we did for ourselves. We took look at there wasn't just one Wall Street. There was a lot of Wall Streets. There were a lot of Wall Streets. We had, I don't know how many people remember Blue Hill Ave when it used to be. Most Blue Hill Ave was the Muslims had the businesses up and down Blue Hill Ave. Now you don't hardly see any black businesses at all. There's a lot of Hispanic and Dominican, and and so it's like, why? And it's because Boston has really gotten expensive to live. So people move, they move to Brockton, Randolph, Stoughton. They move to Atlanta, North Carolina, and so there are not as many black people that look like me and you as there were. Then we have a lot of immigrants coming in from other countries. And I just want to tell you the other, so I've joined the Nation of Islam. I'm a Muslim now. And so one night we were coming out of study group, because we do study groups on Friday at the mosque. And there had to be over 100 white people riding down Blue Hill Ave in bikes. And it was about 9 o'clock at night. And I was like, what? I mean, we were out there, and so the brothers and the sisters, they were recording it, because it's just like,
wow.
I'm like, where, so they're basically saying, well, we're taking over. I mean, there had to be over 100. There had to be. They had the bikes, they had the little scooters, they even had little kids in them their little seats and stuff that they ride them on. And I guess they were making a statement, that we back, and we taking over. But I wish we really would wake up, black people. I really wish we would wake up, because I don't know how much longer we're gonna be able to take this with everything that's going on, with all the parlor tricks that's going on. I every time I go on my phone and I see a story about Nolan Wells, it just hurts my heart. For what they did to that boy. They killed that boy. There's no way you're gonna tell me they did not kill that young man. And people were saying, oh, well, if it was a different story, it was 3 black men and 1 white kid, and they came back and he didn't, it would be a totally different story. They would be locked up, chained, maybe even dead. And they had his phone and his keys. I mean, come on. But this is the world that we live in. This is the the world that says, oh, well, you're black, get back. But a change is gonna come. That's why I like that song by Sam Cooke. A change is gonna come, because a change is going to come, and change is coming. Change happens every day. We see changes. I mean, anybody that grew up in Orchard Park, and you go down there now, And well, some of us still call it Dudley, but they done changed it to Nubian Square. But ain't no Nubians gonna be living down there because they're not gonna be able to afford it because they're building all these high rises, and the rents and stuff are gonna be just out of hand. So
just look at those buildings they're built right on Warren Street.
Yeah, remember where E-Lights used to be, and the clock, and there used to be the patio. I'm talking about these clubs we used to hang out there. Yeah, and we would be down there. It was safe. We didn't have all this shooting and killing and stuff. The life has really, really changed. And for us as Black people, as people of color, we need to come together, because one thing that they do is they separate us. They separate us. They tell the immigrants, people that come from other countries, don't deal with Black Americans because they're lazy, they're this, they're that. But you got to realize, we built this country and got no wages, none at all. They owe us. Kevin Peterson has a sign that says 15 billion is not enough. But you think about, if you really look at our history, we have just been used, abused, confused. We've been pitted against each other. We've been, told that, we're 3/5 of a person. I mean, if we look at, I always say the Constitution needs to be rewritten. But as long as we have the person that's in the White House, it's difficult. And not only that, but we look at our local politics. We look at our mayor and our governor. We look at some of our state senators and state representatives. You don't really hear a whole lot about them, but that's why we have to raise up. That's what I've been trying to do with Marcus Anthony Hall. I'm trying to get our young folks interested in the election and voting and standing up for your rights. I remember, it wasn't the last time we were down City Hall, we was with Eddie Crispin, but the time before that, some young folks actually got arrested for taking over City Hall's meeting, and I was so happy to see that. I was, because one of the young ladies that got arrested was one of the first persons that worked for me as my assistant. Her name is Vickiana, and she I said, I taught you well, didn't I? But there was a lot of them, and they all, I guess there was a few that decided that they were going to get arrested. So there was 8 of them that got arrested, but there was about maybe 20 youth, and they just came and they just literally took over the city council, and there was nothing they could do. So they called the police. Of course, they called the municipal police. And they, I was glad to see that, because they took, they cut the funding for the youth jobs, and it didn't make any sense, because what happens is when you cut jobs for the youth, what are they going to do? And then you increase the police budget, and I don't even want to get on Franklin Park and Blue Hill Ave, but there's just so many other things, and the bike lanes, and so our city is just, yes.
But you know what? When you're talking about the youth, right? If they look at us, right, and if they see us sitting back and not saying nothing, doing nothing, they feel it's not important. Right. And then we got to listen to the youth. Right? Yeah. Don't say, like we used to, don't talk when don't. What do you do?
Don't talk when grown folks
are dark. So we want to say something, just sit and be quiet, right? But you could say what you feel without being disrespectful. Right. Because my thing, you respect me, I respect you. If you're a child or whatever. Right. You gotta get respect. And as far as you was talking about the with city council, right? Like your idea about going down there with the elder, that makes all kinds of sense. We go down there, like I said, wear our different T-shirts. We go, and like with Mass Senior Action, every time they go down there, they all have on their blue. Yeah. I have my whole Mass Senior Action outfit. And with getting back to it, what you said about city council, when I don't remember when we went with the violence when we went down City Hall. Do you remember?
With Mothers for Justice?
Yeah, we packed we packed the whole city council, right, with mothers, survivors, victims of different. We packed it, and we can do that again.
Right.
You know, we need to do that. We need to, because the city council, they're the ones that put those bills together. Then they go to the governor. I mean, the mayor, and the mayor has to sign off on them, right? But if we go and let them know what we want in those bills, that's why they keep cutting it. But the main thing, they cut them because we don't even know about it. We find out about it afterwards. The budgets are cut. We had the city, the the commissioner of Aid Strong come to our complex. See, all of them come to our building because we're one of the highest senior buildings with voting. So she came out with I forgot, but she came.
I think her name's Emily Sheen.
Yeah, but there was somebody else with it. I can't. But when she came out, that's how we found out they had cut all these senior bills. Like these programs where they have programs where you get funds for doing events. They totally cut that. And then there's some other things.
Right,
you
right.
know, but I know that because I always said to like Gloria Fox, how you want us to support you. And you don't even tell us what's going on.
Right.
Talking about nobody comes out to vote. How are we going to come? I mean, to the hearings. How are we going to come out if we don't know about
them? That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's different. I mean, I miss our people, but we still have some folks that are up in arms. I know tomorrow there is going to be a protest from 12 to 2 at the jail, at South Bay Jail, because of the brother that got killed, Shakory Kinney, I think that was his name. He got killed by correctional officers, and I think it was in December.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And so we actually went and helped them to make signs at the Liberation Lab on Tuesday. We won't be able to participate in the in it, but we did help go down there and help them make signs and stuff. But it's just like our lives don't have no value. They really don't value us, and we have to continue to fight every day. Like my friend Makia used to always say, it's a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. And so, we've had a lot of heroes and sheroes, but we're all getting older, and I just feel like the work that I do is a calling from God, and so we're working on some things to try to really help our youth around housing, around education, jobs, the construction field, all the stuff that our young folks need, but one thing they really need is a safe place to stay, and so we don't know, only God alone knows, but it's things that people I feel like like Mass and Cass, they Mass and Cass are still there. It ain't went nowhere. The people are still there, but they're migrating. Now they're in Nubian Square. Then they're migrating. Now they're in Grove Hall. They're migrating. They're in Ashmont Station, Mattapan Square. And it's sad to see this, because it doesn't have to be like this. We can change the narrative, and we have to, because when we're gone, they'll be like, oh yeah, I remember when Sister Priscilla, Sister Sarah was out there, but it'll be too late. That's why I'm trying to instill as much as I can in these young folks. But
that's who we have to target, because like a lot of us older ones, we don't want to change. If we start working with if we start working with the young ones now, just like we're saying, registering your kids at 17, 18, let them know the importance of voting.
Right,
and that the vote can make a difference.
Right. I think we have a caller. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hello?
Good morning, Sister Priscilla. How you doing this morning?
I'm good, Grace, and yourself?
Good. And good morning, Sarah Flint. I'm glad to
Good
hear you
morning.
on the radio.
Good morning.
And thank you for all the wonderful things that you've done.
I appreciate that.
I too am a survivor, just like you,
Mm-hmm.
Sister Priscilla. And I'm calling because I don't know why our community is not responding to the police confiscating our youth scooters. I think we need to address that. They're not confiscating bikes, but they're confiscating scooters. It's not the youth's fault that the Registry of Motor Vehicles doesn't have a training program to teach them what the rules are on the thing. And they're confiscating all these bikes. Our youth, are not may not have the funds. Those bikes cost a lot of money. How come they didn't go to the stores that are selling them and tell them not to sell it unless to people for whatever reason? And it's unclear about. I've been to different neighborhood meetings where they're complaining and reporting our youth on these bikes. And I asked them like which bikes are illegal, and they don't know. But they are stopping our youth and searching them. But we need to address that. Who is going to get those bikes that they took from our youth? And we need to address that because they're not taking other people's bikes, and they're not taking, like you said, a whole bunch of them go down in bikes. And I want to address that. You've seen 100 white folks riding bikes down Blue Hill or whatever, and you say, well, it's a takeover. But no, these white folks are preparing. We are headed into the worst depression ever. Our community needs to realize this, that we are not prepared. These people are getting prepared because when there's a disaster, whether it be climate, whatever, the first thing happens is there's no transportation. So also they are getting in shape physically. So we need to do the same. And we are not looking at all these cuts. There's going to be more cuts. The governor just announced that there's going to be cuts to mass health.
Tell me about
it. And that they're going to send. She didn't talk about what kind of cuts, but she said they're going to send out a letter to mass health people, and you're going to have to reapply for mass health. Many people will lose their health care.
Can I speak to that?
So this country, from the federal, they're $40 trillion in debt. This triggers, so they're sending less money to the state, and we are in a depression. We may not have lived through a depression, but I'm pretty sure our parents lived through depression. That's why they always had kerosene lamps. That's why they always stocked food, because they've been through depression. So we need to talk about the depression that is hitting our community. And yes, and we need to start allowing city officials to come to meetings without the data. How can we know how many black people's in Boston when they don't present the data? They have the data. When you're just talking about them, just talk. We need to know the facts. Bring us the data. Don't come to a meeting without the data. And we need to know. We really need to know the data on things. We don't need to know what people think. We need to know the factual information that they do have. They need to share this information.
And I think we can get that information. Go ahead, Sarah. You wanted to say something? Go ahead.
I wanted to say, as far as the issue on the bikes, We have an issue with when I first started with Mothers for Justice and Equality about knives, and you mentioned the the stores that sell the bikes. What we did, my son was murdered by a knife, and another mother, her son. We had one meeting with the city council, right? And he and his aide took that where we went and had a resolution. The issue was the neighborhood stores were selling these knives to underage kids, and we got a law that was passed in less than a year that fined them from doing this. And as far as the mass health, I know what you mean because they already cut mine off, and I haven't even got the letter yet. But it's it's still around us voting and demanding our rights. So I would suggest you go to your city councilor first, right? Not only your neighborhood, your district. We have 4, what is it, citywide?
At large,
At large city councils. So you got 5 city councilors
That's right.
that you could go to. Go to every one of them, tell them about your issue, and call a meeting. That'll be the first step.
Well, you know what? Our people dealt with our issues ourselves. We have to organize amongst ourselves. Then we go to those city officials. I don't expect those people to do.
Well, that was just my advice. So
I hear you, sister. I hear you.
Okay.
I love you and all that.
I love you too.
But we need the community to stand up, and then we need to address the city.
We
can't without there's things that we can be doing ourselves, and we need to. Our youth need that transportation. If we're hit by a climate change storm or something, we won't have any transportation. And anyway, it's racial profiling that they're racially profiling our youth, and we need to stand up for our youth because that's an injustice of the youth, and black people need to go to these neighborhood meetings.
You're right.
Because they just had a meeting where they walked up Columbia Road to report people with loud music. There's another thing that our people don't know. Marijuana, cannabis is legal, but guess what? It is not legal to smoke it outside. And most of the people, so we need to demand that these dispensaries tell people that it is illegal to smoke marijuana outside. I don't care what age you are.
They ain't gonna hardly tell them that.
Yeah, well, we need to inform our community, and we need to address the governor. How dare they pass a law to legalize cannabis and you can't smoke it outside? So now you have neighborhood groups that are saying, oh, there's a group of people over here. They're out there smoking marijuana. The police are going out there searching everybody. So yes, that's a criminal thing to pass a law saying it's legal, but you can't smoke it outside. You can only smoke in your home. However, if you live in an apartment building, you can't smoke
there.
So our people is being set up for smoking weed outside.
I tell you, Grace, you're what you're saying, you're correct about that. But you know what? We have meetings, we have forums, we have community. You know, the Black Agenda Coalition. Every Thursday we meet at Torchlight from 6 to 8, and we invite people. But it's just like for some reason we continue to work in silos, and I don't know why, because we all have the same issue. We're all in the same boat, and until we come together, until we unite, it's going to be like this. And unfortunately,
let me tell you something. When I grew up here along Blue Hill Ave, there was many different black organizations doing what they felt the way it should be done, but we were all united around one thing: the unification of black people. We were all united around that, the uplifting of our people and providing services for our people. So there will be many organizations, but yes, you're correct. We have to come together. But we cannot stand here and allow them to attack our young people The governor also just passed a law that they can perform abortion on a baby at birth, 40
Jesus.
weeks. And the majority of the women who are having abortions are black women. Black women is the number one women who are having abortions. So they're talking about murdering black babies at birth for any reason. And I don't care if there's a reason. If that child is 40 weeks, 30 weeks, that child should be able to be born. And if that child has problems or medical issues, yeah, they shouldn't be killed because they have that.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's just ridiculous.
Okay, we don't have any. We're almost out of time. I'd say
thank you so much. Thank you, Pastor Bruce Wall.
Yes.
For having this opportunity.
Thank you, Grace, for calling and listening.
Okay.
All right, Sarah. You got the last say since you the guest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but you only got a minute and a half.
I enjoyed it. I must come back again.
Yes.
With other issues. We got a whole lot of them.
Right. That's why we need to be on every day from 7 to 9. Yeah. We need to be on the air talking about these things. We got to. We have to.
We need to get together and work on that as a group. There's a lot of us.
Yeah. Okay. Last word.
I'm through.
Oh, okay. So this has been People Power with Priscilla and Sarah and Danny.
Yes.
And prayerfully we'll be back next week, same time, same channel. Don't forget, September 21st is election day, people. September 21st. You have up until the 22nd to vote, to register, and then also the 22nd starts early voting. So if you don't want to, go to the polls on election day, September 1st, because you may forget or you may be out of town, you have from September the 22nd